Hello everyone, this is Tristan Dodson back at it again, and David on the camera here. And we have a Div 3-4 matchup now for you following the Div 1-2 game we just had moments ago. It is a matchup between the Victoria Kraken in the blue and the Victoria Islanders in the white with green and yellow trim. Starting goaltender for the Kraken is Paul Cressy, I believe. And starting in net for the Victoria Islanders is Jessica Herb. Sorry, it's Rob Vesey, not Paul Vesey. My bad, sorry about that, folks. Norman wins it and plays it in. The Islanders chip it out of harm's way. Pass to the middle. Intercepted though. Tick's trying to get in the way of that. Can't. Norman will pick that up. Oh, and Norman will play it to the point to Mandrake. Now that was down low to number 40, Cressy. That's where I got that mixed up. Cressy's the defender here, and Vesey is the goalie. Spun around. Trying to pick that up as a Islanders player. Mandrake makes a play up. Battle for the ball. 53 Moeller. Pass across. Tick gets it. Under pressure. Tick. Pass number 11. Chambers. Chambers controls. Eric Chambers takes a look. It's blocked by him. Norman tries to glove it off the stick back to his stick again down low, but it's interrupted. Now here's Owen Norman again. Norman controls. Sees a look. Pass down low to the middle. It's number 12 for the Kraken. That's Judge. Duncan Judge controls. Norman on the point. Judge shoots from a sharp angle, goes wide. Picking that up is number 88 there, McLean. McLean tries to feed it down low to Norman. It's interrupted there. That's Chambers. Chambers with a great pickup. Chambers chips it down himself. We have a possible injury to Chambers here as he gets hacked in the leg. He's coming off. Or I think maybe he might have pulled something. There was a battle with sticks and legs there, but I'm not sure exactly what happened. The Kraken still control. Pass to the middle. Shot off the body of Herb, a shoulder up in the air. The Kraken still control in their own zone. Battle for the ball. Pass up, just out of the reach, and that'll be icing as Jake Sweet had a good look right up the middle. To number 4 of the number 4 of the Islanders rather, who is Travis Ram. He would have been home free. There was a back check slowly coming, but then they can't get there, so it's an icing. Face-off will go deep into the Islanders zone after they make that error here. Off the draw. Shot. Goes wide. Hustling after that is Ostrander. Ostrander tries to get there, but it's interrupted. Zarubriak's on it, and Sweet as well. Sweet picks it up. Plays it back to his defensive partner. There's Caden Lee. Caden Lee controls. Watch closely. Try to get a pass up. He can't get it, though. It's blocked at the line by Ostrander. Now here's Dylan Ostrander from Gary Ostrander. Pass up. McLean to Ostrander. Gary Ostrander spins it around, looking to get to number 17, Ounstead, but it's out of his reach as Lee gets there and chips it down. And that's icing against the Islanders once again. A few of these Islanders players will go off for a change. And a few of the Kraken's players will as well, almost a full line change for both teams. Face off deep in the Islanders' zone after they iced that earlier. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. We would like to grow our reach here on YouTube, so we appreciate the people tuning in, and hopefully if this can come up on a few people's algorithm, if a few more people watch, then we can get a lot of people tuning in that maybe weren't even familiar with our league. This is Vancouver Island Ball Hockey League. Pass across. Good luck. Here's a chance for the Islanders to chip it out of harm's way. It's intercepted by Judge, but then Judge gives away to Moeller. Moeller pass up, but it's in the feet of Mandrake. Mandrake, the assistant captain for the Victoria Kraken, kicks it up to his goaltender and played in the corner. Now here's Norman. Norman with a shot. It's blocked by Peter Tick. Here's Owen Norman. Tick's watching them closely. Norman will play it down to Mandrake. Shot from the point. Loose. Herb makes the save and it comes free. The Islanders try to clear it. They can't. Norman shoots from a sharp angle off the blocker of Herb near the far post there. Battle for the ball. Pass up in the middle. Mandrake. Pass across looking for Judge, but it's blocked. Now it's shot again after given away by the Islanders. Now the Islanders pick it up again. Here's Moeller. Moeller pass up. It's a glove down by number 28 of the Islanders. He still has the ball. Pass to the middle. Nobody's there, though. 28 is Gorn. Oh, no, sorry. 28 is Colson, I believe. The Islanders have 3 number 28s here. That's a bit confusing there. It's either Colson or Warnick. I'm just going to say 28 because I'm not sure. I think it's Colson, but don't want to risk it. Haywood takes the draw against Rubriak. Haywood for the Kraken defense leads. Rubriak wins that draw for his team, the Islanders. Lee gets a shot. Saved by Vesey, but he didn't know where it was. It hit his body, went up in the air. Here's Moeller. Shot. Stick saved by Vesey again. Ball still loose. The Kraken can't clear it. Now they try. It's chipped in. Haywood battling for it. As well as Ostrander. Now Ostrander finally gets it up as the Islanders had a lot of chances here to score. They haven't yet. The Kraken have had a few too, maybe a little bit less than the Islanders. Now, a great pass across. Shot way high and wide there. It's picked up off the rim around the boards, though. Here's Ostrander. Gary Ostrander controls. Pass down low behind the net. Trying to feed that to Onstad. It's out of his reach, but he'll come and get back up to it. Now, here's Dylan Ostrander. Back to Onstad. To Gary Ostrander. Shot. Pad save Herb. She lost her stick. Or no, someone else lost a stick. A defender lost their stick. Lee lost his stick in the middle there. Shot blocked by Lee as he picks his stick up. Now here's Jake Sweet. He chips that to Zarubriak. Zarubriak all alone, but coming back actually is 88. He falls down. He gets tripped. He scores! What a goal! What a play by number 5, Cam Zarubriak. As he was going to get a penalty shot, I think, but instead he just buries it 5-hole. As he gets knocked down. What a play. We caught that one. Jake Sweet wanted to make sure we got that one. Holy, what a play. Unreal. And the Islanders lead by 1. What a goal by Cam Zarubiak. Holy. I think they would have called that a penalty shot even, David, because he was all alone. And he knocks him down. But it doesn't matter because he scores. Yeah, that was Andrew McLean trying to play D. He fell down and then he used his stick to swing behind him. Trips up Rubriak, but Rubriak doesn't even care. He can get tripped up and doesn't even matter. Still can score goals on from his butt. Pass across. Judge gets that pass to 77. Now Norman shot up in the air, tipped in front by Howard. That's number 77. Howard's stick gets knocked out of his hands. Now he's laying on the ball. Battle for it. It's in his feet. Norman will pick that up. That was an interesting one. Shot just high. Here's Judge. Judge controls. Tries a pass. He fans on it. Now here's McLean though. Shot. Tipped. Herb gets it. And the second chance is saved as well. We have some rough stuff later as Craig Howard pushes Lee. Bit unnecessary if you ask me. I don't know why you gotta bump him there, but I guess do what you gotta do there, number 77. If you found it necessary, I understand, honestly. As someone who also plays hockey, if something bothered you, I guess you could do that. It might not be the best thing to do, but sometimes you gotta just do it, or sometimes you can't help it. It just happens. Pass to the middle, blocked by Dylan Ostrander. Ostrander gets it up to Norman. Here's Owen Norman. Pass up to Judge. Judge in his feet, but it's stopped there by the defender in the middle. That is number 4. That's Ram. And down. Here's Dylan Ostrander. Pass up blocked. Here's the Islanders. Shot from 28 high. There's McLean to Ostrander. Now pass up, block. There's Moeller. Moeller shoots. Rebound off the back glass there. Chambers is hard on the wall there with McLean. McLean still controls, battling with it. He gives it away now. Gets it back. Here's Chambers. Chambers tries a pass in front. Still loose. Loose a couple times. Now here's Tick. Shot blocked. Clearing attempt. Blocked by the stick of Norman partially. Or my apologies. Blocked by the stick of Moeller partially. Now the Kraken bring it in, but it's stopped by Tick. Tick gets to the cross. This is number 28. Controls. Shot. Pad save to the corner. Here's Keegan Mandrake. Mandrake plays it up. Ostrander. Ostrander watched by Tick. Ostrander beats him clean. Ostrander drives the net, but Tick gets back, but Norman's there all alone. And Herb jumps on it, makes a huge save as she's been dialed in thus far. And just like that, Herb saves her team and bails them out on a really good opportunity for the Kraken to tie this at 1. That doesn't happen though as Herb stands tall. Face off deep in the Islanders zone. Haywood on the draw. Zarubriak wins it. Here's Peter Tick. Tick tries to play it up to Zarubriak. It's blocked down at the line though. Or just inside the line by number 40 of the Kraken. Number 40 is Cressy. And it's controlled by Ostrander. Ostrander takes a look. Still has it. Ostrander shot wide. Rebound pop free to Haywood. He fans on the shot. It hops over the stick. Mandrake rips it from far out. Rebound by Haywood again. Stopped by Herb this time. Fought for. Ball still loose momentarily. Tick and Haywood have a little bit of a battle in front of the net. Leonard saw it, must have seen it loose there at least for a couple seconds as he was a little bit late to blow the whistle. I'm far out here, but that would be my guess as he took a good 5 seconds to blow that down. Must have had some light there that could have had a Kraken goal. Hustling down there, here's number 4. Ram controls. Ram watched closely by a Kraken player. That's Mandrake. Ram spins off the check, gets it to Tick. Tick now. The cross down low for number 40 there. Number 40 of the Islanders is Shrimpton. Now a great little chip by Zarubriak. Up in the air, shot. Ram controls it again, tries to pass it to Sweet. Now here come the Kraken trying to slow down the play here a bit. Ostrander. Pass across to number 17 of the Kraken. Number 17 is Ounstead. Ounstead back to Ostrander. Shot blocked by the defender there. Shrimpton did a big block on that ball there. Now here's Ram. Travis Ram controls. Watched closely by Haywood. Josh Haywood tries to make a play, but he can't. Zarubriak picks that up. There's Jake Sweet from Zarubriak. Now here's Chambers. Chambers shoots. Stick saved by Vesey. Here's Chambers once again on the rebound. Shot off the side of the net. I thought that was in for a moment, but he had some room there. He saw it, and he almost made Vesey pay. Here's Chambers again, looking for Leash. Takes a shot. Rebound pops free. Backhand fanned on by Sweet. Now here's a look to clear it, and it goes all the way down. Now to be icing against the Kraken. Face-off will be deep in their zone in a few seconds here. As what a shift by the Islanders there. They were giving it. And here we are on a upcoming face-off moment in a moment. Yeah, you can't really push it down, point it down that easy. Sometimes it's hard. You can, but you don't want it to fall. That's okay. It's all right, David. We got it. Off the draw. Zoom it out a bit. A little bit. That's good. Shot pass in front. In some feet. Battle for it. Here's Chambers who picks that up as the Islanders are having a burner of a shift here, but now a great play by Judge. Knocks it off the stick of number 23 of the Islanders. I know who that is. Who is that? Ah, Fantillo, right. Fantillo now down on 28. Nate Colson. Shot up the boards. It's to Norman off his foot. He controls, brings it in. Lee's trying to block that play from Norman, but he gets it through. Backhand pass in front of the net. Lee blocks that off his shin guard there and chips it down low. It's kept in just at the center line by McLean. There's Howard, a shot. Norman tries to get that rebound, but he can't. Moeller plays it up to number 28. Colson. Colson gets the zone, takes a look. Shot, pad save by Vesey there. Here's Norman. Norman controls. Norman takes a look. Shot from a sharp angle. Herb makes a stick save. Caden Lee's battling with him there. And Norman comes up with that ball, and it's chips it to his teammate at the wall. He chips it up. Howard. Shot from Norman, blocked by Lee there. What a shift Lee's had. He's blocked 3 shots in a row here. Shot from far out, way high. Rebound pops off the glass as Herb tries to glove it to Judge. Judge to a great pass to Owen Norman, but he mishandles it. Now another look, he shoots up off of a Islanders player. I think that was Moeller in front and out of play, and then high netting. And I want to thank everybody who's tuning in right now. We appreciate you. And thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoy the streams at Eagle Ridge Community Center here in Victoria, British Columbia at the Vancouver Island Ball Hockey League, the VIBHL, sponsored by Napper. Face-off, it'll be Zarubriak versus Josh Haywood again. Zarubriak wins it. Tick picks that up. Here's Peter Tick. Makes a great play up, looking to spring Travis Ram, who was all alone, or maybe Sweet was there as well, and maybe that was the look. Shot just wide. Pass to the middle. Ostrander shot wide. Rebound pops weird as Herb kind of falls down trying to make that save. Trying to bank it in there was number 17 of the Islander, or rather the Kraken. That's number 17 is Ounstead. Jake Sweet had a good look up, but McLean's there to interrupt that. McLean passes that to Ostrander. Dylan Ostrander to Haywood. Haywood to Gary Ostrander rather. Gary Ostrander's shot, pardon me, goes just wide. Here's Ounstead. Ounstead, watch closely right by Zarubiak. Now here's a great chance there, a great look by Gary Ostrander on behind the net. He tries to make a backhand pass to the slot, but fortunately no one's there. At center, it's knocked into the penalty box by Paul Cressy, and it would be a face-off just outside the Islanders' zone due to that. Mandrake, great play to Cressy. It's in his feet, but he makes a pass up. But icing's waved off. I thought that was going to be icing. Leonard says no. Now that one goes as icing, I believe. Face-off will go deep into the Islanders' zone. Dominic Constance and Stephen Leonard are your referees today, or at least the referee for this game, rather. I think we had a different pairing before this. Yeah, Leonard was playing before this. Definitely wasn't Leonard last time. Here's a great look. Here's Colson all alone. Colson, backhand. Big save by Vesey there. The rebound through the crease as well. Here's Cressy. Paul Cressy tries to make a play. Sent down. And that'll be icing against the Kraken. Cressy with a great look, looking for a perfect feed right to Ounstead, but it's just off the reach of his stick. Between his legs there, and icing's the call. Face-off going deep into the Kraken zone. Score is still 1-0 in favor of the Victoria Islanders against the Victoria Kraken. Very close game here. Just over 3 minutes left in the first period. Shot. Big save, Vesey. Now Paul Cressy plays it around. Caden Lee will pick that up as Norman's not there in time. Lee tries a shot, fans on it. Still controls again. Moeller shot. Stick save. And slowing that rebound is Rob Vesey once again. He's been standing on his head here, folks. I got to give him props. He's been unreal. I guess Herb has been slightly more unreal as she hasn't let any in yet. But I think the amount of shots that the Islanders have poured onto Vesey here, I think he's the better goaltender. So for only let one in, they've had a lot more shots on goal. We haven't counted them, but they've had a lot more because our score clock's partly broken. But pass across, shot. Just wide, a rebound free for a second, and Herb swallows that up.
I thought that went in.
Me too. David, the cameraman here, thought that went in. It was close. It did look like it did from our angle. It was just wide, I think, off the backboards, David, right, and then right to the side of the post there, where Zach Hyman of the Oilers does his gets his 50-goal seasons. Every goal the guy scores is from that spot there. If you're on a team with McDavid, you can score a lot of goals, though. I still like Hyman, but he's a bit of a McDavid and Draisaitl merchant, I'll be honest. My opinion. But enough about that. This is ball hockey now, not NHL. Pass up. Judge picks that off as Moeller tries to get in, but now it's picked off by Colson. Colson shoots way high. Mandrake try to pick that up, but Chambers is there first. Here's Chambers. Chambers looks to Lee. Lee's shot just wide, right in front of the goalie. Screen him, jumping out of the way. That shot was Colson. Oh, making a good play. That's number 23 there. Now there's 1D as jumping in that play with one of the defensemen, Fantillo, but now he can't get back in time. Moeller go back to support instead. Now Jeremy Moeller, after that save from Herb, knocks it to the corner, picks it up. It's given away though. Here's Haywood. Haywood watched closely by Sweet. Here's Haywood, pass up. Here's Norman. Norman fakes the shot. Lee watching him close, drives the middle. Lee makes a great defense play. A shot just wide, looking for a side of the net, kind of a sharp angle shot there for the Kraken. Here's Haywood. Haywood looks. Shoots. That's wide. Kraken were going to use their point there, but decided not to. It didn't work out for them so far, on that play at least. Here's Sweet. Sweet makes a look. Drives it in. He has two guys on him. Pass to Chambers. Looking to go back to Sweet, but it's blocked by Haywood. Here's Eric Chambers. Pass across, looking for Cams Rubriak. It's blocked down there by McLean, though. Now Ostrander picks it up. Gary Ostrander makes the zone. Watched closely by number 40 there, the Islanders. Pass across. It's Norman. Oh, Norman watched by Lee. Shot. Pad saved by Herb, and it goes out into the high slot. Fought for. Sweet chips out of harm's way. But then it's brought back in by the Kraken. Here's Ostrander to Ostrander. Gary to Dylan. Dylan shot. Pad saved by Herb. It was going close to wide of the net, but she decides to steer it clear anyways. Norman shoots now. Blocked in front by Zarubriak. Now Zarubriak makes a play up. Here's Travis Ram. Ram, little chip play to Sweet. He tried to go back to Ram, but Ram had no gas left in the tank. And it's sent down as Ounstead tries to get it on his backhand behind his back, but he can't get a stick on it, so that'll be icing against the Kraken. Face-off will go to the right side, deep into the Kraken zone. Score still 1-0 for the Islanders against the Victoria Kraken. It's a close game, just 21.8 seconds left in this first of two periods. The Kraken win it. Haywood to Ostrander off the draw. Dylan Ostrander tries to pass it up. Here's Tick, 15 seconds left. Shot, blocker saved by Vesey. Trying to chip that in was Ram, but he couldn't get the ball to the middle. Here's Haywood, 3 seconds left. Pass off a stick and down. And that'll do it for this first frame. Ounstead looking for a equalizer late. Couldn't get it though. And we'll be back at you in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes with the second and final period of this game. And current score, Victoria Islanders 1, Kraken 0. We'll see if the Kraken get one back here and tie it up in the second period. Don't go anywhere yet. We'll be back shortly. Thank you. runs Tristan Dodson back at it again. And this is the second and final period of this Div 3-4 matchup between the Victoria Islanders in the white and green and the Victoria Kraken in the navy, dark blue, and the white trim. On the draw, Zarubriak will take it against Haywood. Haywood wins it for the Kraken, but it's picked up by Ram there. On a giveaway, pass across, blocked. In some feet. Here's Ostrander trying to pick his pocket of Ram. He does, still has the ball, loses it a couple times. Ram gets his get back, but it's given right away to the Kraken once again. That's McLean for Dylan Ostrander. Back to McLean. McLean controls. Number 17, Ounstead, watched by Tick. Played down low softly to Haywood, but Ram picks that off. Here's Tick. Pass up the middle, might be looking for Zarubriak there, but he was at the far wall. Pardon me, so that's icing against the Islanders as Tick makes a little error there, but face off deep in the Islanders zone after that error by Tick, and we will have pardon me, we have 16 minutes, 20 seconds left. It's been just over 40 seconds of the second and final frame. Again, Haywood, the center, against Zarubriak, also the centerman. Zarubriak wins it, but they'll redo it. As Dom says, he dropped it. Not the way he wanted that time. Face-off won again by Zarubriak. This time it goes, as Dom says it was all right. Shot from far out by Cressy, swallowed up by Herb for a big save. Face-off will go right back in the spot it was once again. Haywood and Zarubriak again. Haywood tries to win that up this time. Ends up just going to the Islanders player in the center. Glove down, hand pass waved off as a player plays it here. Sweet all alone. Tries to chip it. Big save by Vesey. Up in the air. Here is Ostrander, a shot up in the air. Sweet with a great pass from Ram. Now here's Zarubriak all alone. Shoots. Goes wide as he has an open cage. He beats Vesey clean, but can't bury it in the empty cage. Unlucky. He'll get a pass as he got a crazy goal earlier in this game. The only goal of this game so far was by that same player. Number 5, Cam Zarubriak, so I'll give him a pass for that one. Gets tripped up, scores the first and only goal of the game. So just missing this empty net, a little bit better feeling than if you were down. Here's Jake Sweet, spins off a check, controls. Takes a look, down low, Zarubriak, pass in front, backhand, rebound by Sweet. He puts his hand on the ball near just outside the crease. They don't call it though. I don't think he can do that. I did that at drop-in a couple nights ago. They're looking like the Team Canada team versus Czechia a couple nights ago here. It's happened twice in a few days now. That's a bit weird. Team Canada must have had that curse. Happens a lot more. Moeller shot off the post and up and out of play, I believe, or might have hit a glove out of play. What a chance for Zarubriak to double his team's lead earlier, but he beats Vesey, but he can't pop it home. Unlucky. He had him beat completely. He was way to the left, and he had to plop it to the right, or rather, he was way to the right. He had to plop it just in an empty net to the left, and couldn't do it. Just not quite in. But they still lead by 1. The Islanders do. Kraken win the draw here. Here is McLean. Pass up. Ounstead to Howard. Howard swings it around. Here's Lee. Lee will play that up. Gets set to Colson. Colson to Chambers. Chambers controls. Eric Chambers takes a look. Back to Colson, the assistant captain. Slap shot blocked by Ounstead. A second chance blocked by McLean. Colson makes a great play. But then another great play is made by Howard the other way. Past the middle. Shot They score! What a goal. Colson loses his stick in a little battle there. Can't get it back in time. Neither can his teammates, and this game is tied. Just like that, the Kraken get their get back in the earlier stages of the second and final frame, and it's tied at 1. Face off center court. Moeller on the draw versus Haywood. Haywood wins it. Colson will chip it down just inside center. After that hard is McLean. McLean beats Chambers there on the wall. McLean to Dylan Ostrander with Ounsteads with them as well. Ostrander to McLean. Back to Ostrander. They slow down the play here. Pass up, gets that to Gary Ostrander from Dylan. He'll make the zone. Haywood will crash in with Onstad as well. Onstad at the net. Up in the air looking for a pass to the far corner there in the slot, but interrupted now. Herb chips that to her teammate at the wall. Here's Chambers, hits the ref's foot, and then he gets it back though. Chambers watched closely by McLean. Chambers shot wide of the net. Norman picks that up. Owen Norman takes a look. Watched closely by Ram. He gets that across to McLean. McLean to Ostrander. Now, pass up by Ostrander, given away as Moeller gets in the way. A shot now from Chambers off the pads of Vesey and swallowed up with the glove. And big save by Rob Vesey here, and it's still a 1-1 game because of that big save he made just now. Chambers had a good look at the net there, saw some open space up high. Number 40 gets set off a draw in from his team, the Islanders. Shot wide. Number 40 is, I should know this, Shrimpton. Right, Shrimpton. Connor Shrimpton. Or Carson Shrimpton. Here's Duncan Judge. Judge will play it up looking for Howard, but he can't get it to him. Now it's given away though. Here's Judge. And his feet. Tick will interrupt that play. Tick pass up to Ram. Here's Ram. Pass across, blocked. Now here's Judge all alone. Lee's back with him and Norman as well. Shot loose, but Herb will be there first as Norman was crashing the crease, had a good look, but Herb swallowed it before Norman could get a piece of that. He had half that empty cage there waiting for him. It's on in cage, wide open, but Herb saves it before he can get to that. It's just two big saves on each ends there. First it was Vesey with a huge save, and now it's Jessica Herb with a bigger save, maybe even. Pass up, down low, Norman controls, watched by Lee. Norman shot, stick save by Herb. Clearing attempts, and it gets from Caden Lee to Sweet. Jake Sweet back to Lee. Lee tries to grab it, but it oversteps it and kind of loses the ball. Now they try to clear it. Lee interrupts that. Caden Lee watched closely by Howard. Norman tries to make a pick on him, but he can't. Shot behind the net. Rebound pops free. Here's Jake Sweet controlling. Lee in front of the net in the slot. Jake Sweet controls still. I was under pressure from Mandrake. Gets that to Fantillo. Fantillo rips it. Hits somebody in the helmet, I think, or the face. A shot, and Lee scores on the rebound. What a shot. I don't know how Lee got that one home. He had a empty kind of net there, but I thought he was completely under enough pressure that he wouldn't be able to have his hands hard enough on his stick to chip that home. But I guess never underestimate the little guys. He shorter guy, but he's a very, very good hockey player. And just like that, the Islanders regain their 1-goal lead, 2-1 score. In ball hockey, size doesn't really matter. You don't underestimate those little guys. Some of them are either super fast like Lee or super stocky and really, really strong on their legs like Pruitt. Pass across. Shot. Oh, toe saved by Herb. Zarubriak tries to make a play. He can't now. Here's Ounstead. They're hungry. They have revenge on their mind. They're looking to go out for blood. They're trying to tie this one back up again. Haywood. Ostrander shot. Big save by Herb. Now Fentillo tries to clear it down. He will get it all the way down. It's off the glove of McLean, so icing's waved off. Try to keep that in. Couldn't quite do it. Hits his glove, but doesn't keep the zone. Pass up to Tick. It's out of his reach, though. Here's Ounstead. Ounstead gains the zone. He controls. Tick's watching him closely. Ounstead spins off the check, though. Tick watched him very close, though. Pass up. Dylan Ostrander shot high. Clearing attempt. It's kept in there by Ostrander, but then given away. Moeller to Chambers. Great chip and good active stick defensively in the neutral zone there by Dylan Ostrander. Pass to the high slot. Interrupted by Moeller. Here's Colson. Colson to Chambers. McLean there. Hard on him. Great pick. Colson's shot. Blocked by McLean and goes way out of the zone there. Great block. Way to stop that. Play a little pick, a little chip with the stick. As Chambers was rushing in, McLean got back twice. Once to interrupt that play just entering the zone, and once to step in front of it and block it off his foot and out. Face off in neutral territory just outside the Kraken zone. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you. We'd like to thank you for your support here in our streams. Duncan Judge to Howard. Shot. Goes wide. Norman picks it up. Norman watched closely by Colson. Here's Mandrake. Mandrake controls. Watched by Chambers. Chambers almost gets a piece of that, but can't quite do so. Here's Cressy. Shot right to Norman. Norman plays it down low calmly to the point. To Mandrake. Good shot. Now here's a look. Norman's shot hits the outside of the net just by the post there. Here's Ounstead. Ounstead. Pass to Mandrake. Mandrake walks into it. Shoots. He scores! What a goal by Keegan Mandrake. It's a missile. Caught everybody by surprise there. He just walks it in and right in the middle of the zone and just snipes it. And this game is tied once again. It's now tied at 2. Previously it was tied at 1. And this game is a close, even matchup in this men's Div 3-4. This is a really good game. Hope everybody watching is enjoying it as much as I am. This has been a tight game. Every time one of the teams scores, they get it right back. Here's a Rubriak. Plays that up. Here's Ram. Ram plays it down low. After that is the Kraken player at the wall. It's Mandrake, who just scored moments ago. The defenseman. They gave him time to walk in and fire one, so he took it and he made them pay and tied this game up at 2 for his team, the Kraken, as they were down 1 previously. Shot by Sweet, just wide, as he had a top of the net wide open, as Vesey was down early, but he couldn't even get it on the net there. Unfortunate break for the Islanders. Here's Judge. Judge chip pass to Norman. Norman controls. Norman to Judge, but it's through the crease and nobody's there. Here's Fentillo. Fentillo controls. Watch closely by Judge. Noah Fentillo plays it down low to his D partner. That's Lee. Lee has a mini stick, it looks like, out here. His stick is the shortest stick I've ever seen. It's like a 5-inch stick. I don't know how he can do the handles with that thing. But hey, I mean, if it works for him, you might as well use it. Here's Caden Lee. Lee watched closely by Norman. Lee will bring the ball up. He'll now slow it down. Pass up, looking for Sweet. It's off a stick of Haywood down to the corner. Icing's waved off as it's hit out past the center line by 22 Haywood of the Kraken. Here is Gary Ostrander, takes a look, pass to Norman. Norman takes a look, shot, blocked in front by Jeremy Moeller. Now Moeller to Chambers. Chambers controls, takes a look, chip pass up, pass Ostrander, but he'll get back, or no he won't. Chambers will pick his pocket. battle between Ostrander and Chambers. Now Ostrander will get it down, but not out. It's kept at the line, but now by Lee, but Norman was there to stop that. Oh yeah, sorry folks, I forgot to change the first period to the second frame on the score clock. Here, I'll do that when there's a whistle here. Thanks for reminding me, David, appreciate you. Here's Ostrander. Ostrander controls. Shot off a defenseman, this Tick almost in the net. Try to wrap it around and jam it home by Haywood, but he can't. Norman's shot blocked by the stick of Colson. Here's Tick. Tick spins off the check of Ostrander. Plays that up to Colson again. Colson, the assistant captain, gets that to Moeller. Moeller watched closely by McLean. He's held and pushed off the ball. No call. I don't know about that one. And now here's Ostrander. He gets the zone, chips it back. Watched closely by Peter Tick. Tick picks his pocket. Tick makes a play. Colson's there, but Cressy's there first. Would have been offside, so the Kraken players check up, and that gives the Islanders time to make a slower play, unfortunately, for the Kraken. Here's Chambers. Chambers tries to make the zone. He can't. And now he will. But now it's knocked off his stick. Judge will play it down to Cressy. Cressy, D to D to his D partner, Keegan Mandrake. Now, Tick picks it off, but then it's picked right back up by Howard. Judge driving the net. Shot just wide on. I think he's looking for a rebound for the tap in from Judge, but he almost scores regardless, but just wide on that play. Here's Duncan Judge. Controls. Pass up looking for Howard, just out of his reach. Howard fakes a shot and plays it back to the line to Mandrake. Mandrake controls inside the center, watched by Jeremy Moeller. Instead, we'll play it down to Howard. Tick almost interrupts that, can't. Shot, sharp angle. Herb will squish it between her helmet and her glove there and make a big save. An awkward but big save there to keep her team in it and tied it too. Again, I want to give my gratitude and our appreciation from the whole league for everybody tuning in here. We couldn't do it without you guys. We appreciate all our fans. And this is your first time watching one of these streams. Hope you like it, and I hope you tune in again. Mandrake makes a play in the middle, takes a look. Shot blocked by Lee. What a block off his backside there. Now here's a pass from Sweet off the block of Lee's butt there, right to Ram, back to Sweet. Pass across. That's Zarubiak. Zarubiak, who had the first goal of this game and the only goal for a long time, as he gets tripped up earlier and knocks it down and scores from his butt on the 5-hole on Vesey. That was in my opinion, the best goal of this game. Would have been a penalty shot, I think, or at least a penalty regardless. Shot high. Judge trying to glove that down, can't. Misses him. Norman. Howard to Norman. Herb makes a pad save and then clears it with the paddle to the corner. Zarubiak picks that up. Zarubiak watched by Judge. It's Sweet that picks that up. Sweet controls. Try to go back to Zarubiak, but it's kind of towed and hooked a little bit out of his reach. Zarubiak will go off on a change. Pass to the middle from Ostrander. He goes off to Haywood, but it's interrupted. There's a late change. Jake Sweet had him beat, but it rolled off his stick. Here's Norman from Lee. He gets the zone back to Judge. Judge slap shot. Tipped just wide by Haywood. What a look by Josh Haywood. Now here's Moeller off that big rebound, pop right to him. Now he makes a play. Gets it to Chambers, a shot, sharp angle. Staring him down, making a huge save on the hard on that post was Vesey. Kraken try to chip it up. Moeller with his body makes a great play. Up in the air. Still loose. Moeller gets it again, pass to the middle, but nobody's there but the defender of the Kraken. That was McLean, who's been really solid here as a lockdown D-man. Spun around, nobody knew who was going to get it. Lee thought Fantilla was going to get it, leaves it there, and Norman hustles in and actually gets that, but Fantilla does a great play there. And it goes to the side of the net, and Herb will decide to cover that up for a whistle as she saw some pressure rolling for the Kraken. And we'll have a full line change for the Islanders, except for Moeller. Moeller will stay. Everybody else will go off. I think he's just going to take the draw and then go for a change, as he's their best face-off guy. He'll win the draw. Or maybe he has some gas left in the tank. We'll see. Here's a Tick will push Ounstead off the ball. Colson hustling after it. Ounstead gets beat twice there. Unfortunate break for Onstead and the Kraken. Chambers looking in to get a crash the net for a shot, but Vesey calmly plays that down hard across to the corner to his teammate. Here's Ostrander chipped up, and that's off the netting out of play. Deflected off of a Islanders player up in the netting, so we're good. No delay of game call there. Face off deep in the Islanders zone due to that happening there. Coach for the Kraken, Mike Nielsen, over here. He's giving the boys talking to, trying to get them to lock in, and hopefully they can get it up here and win this game for the Islanders. I'm neutral. I wouldn't mind either team winning. Shot banked in. They score. It's Onstead. Herb was late to the hard post, and just like that, right as I was talking about the coach going to the drawing board there, and Mike Nielsen trying to get his team motivated, they are now down a goal. So the Kraken now have their first lead of the game. Timeout for the Islanders here. Mike Nielsen, coach, calls that. And we will go to the drawing board for 30 seconds now. We'll be back at you in about 30 seconds, give or take. Don't go anywhere yet. There's still lots of action to be had. 2 minutes left in this game. Score of 3-2 in favor of the Victoria Kraken over the Victoria Islanders. And we're back at it again here, folks. The timeout in favor of the Islanders has expired. We'll see what Mike Nielsen and his team drew up here. You'll see if they can make this, whatever they discussed, happen here and tie this game back up as the Kraken took their first lead here. They're thinking about pulling Herb. They have pulled Herb right now. 6-on-5 man advantage. Here's Moeller as Herb goes into the bench. Chambers will come on as the extra attacker. Fought for. Chambers tries to chip it down. He can't. Battling with that is Onstead, who has the leading goal. Tick makes a great play. Tick controls. Pass to Chambers. He has a look. A shot. Big save, Vesey. Trying to shoot at the empty net. It's blocked by his own teammate on a clearing attempt. It comes out at center as Carson Shrimpton kind of mishandles it. They'll control it, though, and they'll get it back in the zone. That's number 11, Chambers. To Moeller, a shot. Loose rebound for Sweet. Pass in front. Blocked by the stick of Vesey. 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining. Time winding down to tie this up for the great pass by Shrimpton. Looking for Moeller. Goes past him, but Zurubiak will pick it up. Passes the slot, looking for Chambers out of his reach. Here's Shrimpton. Shrimpton controls. Battling for the ball. Now here's Chambers. Chambers takes a look. Beats his man. Pass in front. Loose. Cleared down, but not out. It's kept in by Tick, who fires. Rebound pops free. Sweet off a great chance off the high glass, just wide. Here's Zurubiak. Chambers. Chambers controls. Tick fires. Loose. Rebound behind the net. Pop free. 33 seconds remaining. Here's Moeller. Shot blocked by Onstead. Pass in front. Hustling after that's Ostrander. Tick will slide and keep that in. What a play by Tick. Zurubiak shoots. Blocked. Slap shot. Blocked again. What a block by Onstead. Pass in front. They score! They tie it up. Cam Zurubiak, the second goal of the game for him. But this game, with just under 15 seconds remaining, is tied. Oh my God. What a game this has been, folks. This is absolutely unreal. The Islanders just can't lose. My God. And we got some Gordon Lightfoot playing to boot. It's the most Canadian day of my life. What a play. What a keep-in by Peter Tick on the far wall. There's Ostrander had an empty net to shoot at if Tick didn't slide and make that play. And he sacrifices his body, slides across with his stick in his legs to make a great play to barely keep that in. And off the draw, Moeller wins it and presses to bring it up. Here's Colson. Colson shoots wide. 4 seconds left. Given away. Moeller to the middle. It's to a shot from Chambers just wide. And this game will go to OT, folks. 3-on-3 for 3 minutes. It's the second game of today. The first game that goes this far is this close. The other one was a bit of a blowout for the Sheep against the Roadrunners. And I forgot to change to the second too. I was so locked in, dialed, doing my commentating here, and I forgot to switch the first to the second. I was going to on a whistle, but I was so dialed in with some amazing VIVHL action, I neglected that. Sorry, folks. Now I switched it to OT. It's 3 minutes of 3-on-3. After that, those 3 minutes, if nobody scores, it's a tie. They both get a point. So sudden death, but if nobody scores and it stays a tie after that 3 minutes, it will be a point each. This is a new implemented thing in this season. Before this, it would always end a tie. There would be no extra time. So the GMs of teams division-wide voted for OT to be a thing. And I am a big fan of it, and I hope you guys at home are a big fan of it as well, as it's great action here. Off the draw, the Islanders win it. Chambers gets that off the draw from Moeller. Now Lee, here's Caden Lee, watched by Judge. Lee controls, gets his zone, spins back, takes a look. Chambers controls. Here's Eric Chambers, Jeremy Moeller. Moeller looking to go to Lee. Lee gets his hands whacked at. No call, though, as Howard had a few borderline calls that they've let go. In overtime, I understand that, though. Here's Chambers, watched closely by Howard. Chambers controls. Now it's Moeller. Moeller gets the zone. Or rather, gets right back in the zone. A pass up, blocked. Battle for the ball. It's a hard-fought game with a lot of great battles. The goaltender, Vesey, will play it to Judge. Now Judge takes a look. Howard on the wall. Lee will go off for a change. Coming on and to interrupt that, or rather for him, is Tick, the defender. Judge will play it back. Good change by Lee as they had a chance to bring it in. He wants to get a D on. More lockdown defenseman there. Here's a pass across out of the reach of Judge. Judge will go off. They'll have a full change for the Kraken. Haywood, McLean, and Norman will play it up. Here's Sweet. Sweet spinning off a check. Loses possession of the ball. Gets it back, though. Still controls. Beats his man. It's in his feet. Backhand. He scores! What a goal! Oh, my God. Jake Sweet just undressed 2 defensemen and snipes it forehand, backhand. And that'll do it. The Islanders take this game with a score of 4-3 in extra time. And thank you, everybody, for watching. We appreciate you. And the Islanders were down. They make a comeback, and they get a huge win in OT. And what a game this was. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And there's one more game at 3:30. Well, it's going to be a little later as this game went to OT, extra frame. But thank you very much for watching. And what a game by the Islanders there. Unreal. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.